Batrider, excuse me. Imagine how broken Yules would be if you could Yules your allies. Jump forward, Heavenly Grace right onto 2. Jubei in trouble. Gets the Phantom's Embrace off onto Ryoya, and they get the Link as well. But it's not going to do all that much. Lasso going to bring up the Nature's Prophet to the high ground. He will be burning slowly, but he gets the dust off, and now Mason in trouble. Eclipse is going to be there to keep the Nature's Prophet alive for now. Heavenly Grace on him as well. And they are able to take out Mason on the north side. Monkey's able to blink down to the south. Over on the west, CCNC still alive. Ryoya chasing, though, has a haste rune, but does not find Monkeys, it being nighttime. It's a little bit hard to see. I know about that all too well, because I am blind as a bat. But signs of life definitely here for Flying Penguins, able to sort of stymie the early aggression from FaZe and Monkeys after 2 really nice pickoffs with the blink. They've been prepared for him since then. Lelis looking to TP out, but gets Yules'd up by the Batrider and will be taken out. So a nice little consolation prize for FaZe off the back of a pretty poor engagement from them. As far as results go, anyways. Not saying anyone played poorly. Aghanim Scepter is almost up here for the Luna, and she's sneakily hit level 14 here. Highest of the supports in the game. So definitely this hero can farm newts. And they do have a Lifestealer who can farm neutrals in a more... or farm lane creeps, excuse me. Farm in a more aggressive position to allow the Luna to do so. So that Aghanims could be huge. It could be a big power spike for Flying Penguins if they stay alive for the next little bit. They'll have both the Radiants as well as... Oh, jump forward. In onto CCNC. BKB is popped by Mason. Yule Scepter up into the air by the Queen of Pain for Ryoya. GA is there as well, but the Laguna Blade brings him very low. Ryoya still surviving through all of this. Phantom's Embrace, Stroke of Fate, and he will finally be taken out. Now Envy in trouble. He's going to end up dropping. Snake King goes down. And the entire Tricore and the long-range boulder connects onto the Luna. Lena throws her up into the air. And 4 kills with a double kill for CCNC for FaZe. Nature's Prophet, top lane. TPing out. Silenced. We'll do a little trading with Boris. And now makes the TP out. Well, no, there's another stun there. TP out this time. Okay, that should have been when you went for the TP, I think. Oh, the grip was there. So, kick to his death is the Nature's Prophet. Into the Roche Pit go Mason and Monkey. CCNC has can't come back to deal with the wave. And we'll see how well Mason and Monkeys can do against this Roche. And since CCNC decided to go defend top, it looks like they will subside. If that really makes any sense in the context. Aghanims is up for the Luna, but Radiant's definitely not for Envy after taking a spill there. He's close, however, and yeah, he actually ends up getting it. Maybe sold a small item there, maybe a stick or something. Not entirely sure, but in any case, does have the Radiance. They do have that Aghanims as well, so they can pop that onto Riora, jump him in. He's got both the Yule Scepter and the Ghost Scepter now. So can sort of avoid that Janata Roche being worked on. They got to clean up the wave and fast, and they don't. It doesn't feel like they'll be able to make it to this Roche Pit. They are making a move though. Smoked up, Ryoya. Monkey's on the high ground. Jump forward. Ryoya jumps in. There's no Eclipse just yet, and now it starts to do work as Boris is forced away. CCNC in trouble. Has the Aegis of the Immortal. Is going to Yules himself up into the air. Scream misses because he was Yules, but Snake King able to take out CCNC the first time. Jubei in trouble. Eclipse will take him out. Envy sitting right on top of CCNC is going to rage before the silence from Boris, and CCNC taken down for the second time. Kick from Boris was a valiant attempt to save his Lena, but it's unsuccessful. Jump forward from Snake King. Dust is going to find Mason. Lelis is nearby, has Sprout in 1, but the track move speed and the phase keeping Mason alive. Monkeys jumping towards the wave. Mid lane, Jubei and Ryoya doing some trading. Inkswell will be dodged by Ryoya. And a jump forward scream will finish him off. Meanwhile, Envy working on the tier 3 alongside Snake King. Nature's Prophet TP's back out. Gets the bounty runes because Envy told him to, because that's how Envy plays Dota. Mason, though, was already working on the bounty runes bot lane and will take out the Prophet. Unfortunate loss for Flying Penguins. But they end up getting 3 bounty runes. Pipe certainly doing some work in that last engagement. The Eclipse did some as well, but really just kind of forced the Earth Spirit out of the engagement early, forced CCNC into the pit, and just kind of a bit of a miscommunication. We saw sort of heroes go in 3 different directions. I don't know how many times I'm going to draw that for the FaZe lineup. And again, the Radiant still fighting in this one. Have the Eclipse up in 30 seconds. Ryoya's got 1 element on the way to his Scythe of Vice. BKB and Sacred Relic up onto Mason. He does have a Radiance of his own now. Still sort of tanky on this Bounty Hunter with the BKB. The physical damage isn't all that scary. I mean, Envy's gone for a Radiance. Luna is a support with an Aghanims. And the Prophet has absolutely nothing. Necro Book 1 recently completed. Smokes from both sides. But bottom lane, Envy's going to be found out into the LSA and taken out immediately. And now roll forward. He's going to find all 3 heroes smoked here. Envy's going to actually buy back for this one. Boris is going to force away. Envy does not get connected on with the LSA. Jumps forward, but the Soulbind keeping Envy tethered to Ryoya. They will find Boris. Can they find more? Jubei TP's out. Ryoya jumps forward and finds Boris, and definitely not a worthy buyback from Envy for a single Earth Spirit kill. But it's possible that they end up getting more here. Monkeys hanging around. Dodges the Scream of Pain, but it'll follow him. Ryoya looking to find him and won't be able to do so. That is gone. So Envy's buyback was a brazen one and a bold attempt to take a big advantage in that team fight, but it does not bear fruit. Ryoya up to the high ground. Ghost Scepter immediately. Jumps out. Envy right onto Jubei. Gets the kill. Laguna Blade down onto Ryoya. He will be able to get Heavenly Grace and Yules up into the air. CCNC down to the low ground. TPing out. Lelis dueling it up with Mason. And Mason able to make it away. The Eclipse was not used, however. Jump forward. Oh, beautiful Heavenly Grace. And the Rage comes out. Monkeys is in trouble. Dust is there onto Mason. He can't really stand and fight because his BKB is down. Monkeys taken out. Envy taking a lot of damage, but Heavenly Grace is there. And the Eclipse coming through, busting away the Earth Spirit. And Mason taken out. And somehow, Flying Penguins continue to make headway in this game. They have been down for a long time, but they've chunked into this lead, and you can just see the constant sort of roller coaster in this one. 5,800 experience going the way of Flying Penguins, and net over 3,000 gold. And they'll get this tower as well. Make that about 3,700 net gold going their way. A huge team fight win for the side of Flying Penguins. And experience lead almost completely nullified. Envy working on an Assault Cuirass is still a good way away from that. But the Hex for Ryoya is going to come out very soon. And this combination of Heavenly Grace and Eclipse onto Ryoya jump forward is going to get a little bit more potent once that Scythe of Vice comes out. Lelis has a level 2 Necro Book, so his split push is starting to become respectable, I'd say. CCNC though. Envy gonna be graced up, if you will, but thinks better of it. Monkey's looking for an opening. Nighttime. And you can really see what both these teams are looking at. Not much, and certainly running up high ground at this juncture in the game after taking a big team fight would be ill-advised for Eternal Envy to do, even with Heavenly Grace. Midas up on the Earth Spirit. He's level 18 in this one. Right alongside the Luna and the Omni Knight. So the Midas certainly paying dividends. 2200 HP on the Earth Spirit, no strength items. Seems balanced. Thank you, Sir Frog, for that one. CCNC's gone for a Daedalus here, so feeling that they need the extra right click with the Heavenly Grace being what it is. And is going to be picking up an MKB as well. Sight device completed on Rioya. They've got Envy inside the Queen of Pain. Snaking hanging around as well. Monkeys is going to show briefly on mid, but they've got issues bottom. Where the Earth Spirit has pushed in. CCNC is nearby. This is a big kill if they can find CCNC. Jump forward. They find the Hex onto the Lina and will take her out. Boris going to be body blocked up. Nicely done by Snaking. 2 kills going the way of Flying Penguins. And things starting to get shaky for FaZe. We talked about having a late game bounty hunter. And it's not as if Mason hasn't contributed, but it just not the scariest one position at this juncture. In fact, Mason, pretty good KDA, 8, 6, and 9 overall. It just doesn't contribute the same way that your traditional one does. And just playstyle is a bit different in a full 5-on-5. He's really not that scary of a hero. Down to 6 seconds already on the BKB, and Envy going for the tier 3 bottom will force out the glyph. 30 seconds on the sidelines. No buyback for CCNC. Take a look at the buybacks overall. Only Mason and Boris. Okay, the Grimstroke does have his now as well, but no buyback on Monkeys. No buyback on CCNC. If CCNC does come up and get a kill, though, he should have enough. And for now, Flying Penguins will be content with a couple of kills they got bottom and the amount to which they've pushed out their wave. They know Roche is up soon, knowing Envy. He's up, in fact, now. And the reveal of the Hex bears fruit in a big way for Flying Penguins. FaZe, concerned with the possible Roche attempt, will take a peek into the pit. Find no one home for the time being. Envy will look to clean up the mid wave. And he does have the Assault Cuirass ready. Treants are doing some scouting as well. They see Monkeys. They know that the retreat is happening. Envy into the Infest. Heavenly Grace nearby. They'll pop it. It's on top of the wave, though. Rioya unable to find a target suitable enough. Lelis, though. Bottom lane, jump forward. Hex is going to find one. It is going to be the Bat Rider. And it keeps Lelis alive for now. Now Envy trying to beat into the last... Oh, the double lasso, though, from Monkeys is going to bring up Rioya and Envy. Envy gets Heavenly Grace, though, trying to go in onto Mason. And the Eclipse comes through as well, but it's being split amongst the creeps. They need a little bit more RNG on their side, and they'll take out Mason. No buyback. Buyback comes out from Monkeys. No lasso available, however. The double lasso was so nice with the soul bind, but they are unable to make it work. And the buyback coming out from Rioya now. They know this opening is here. CCNC does not have buyback, and they have a Luna doing work here. Refresher Eclipse from Flea. Envy beating in alongside Snaking. Now mid lane, Rioya maybe looking for a pick. Finds Boris. Hex is up. Does he have enough firepower to kill off the Earth Spirit? Oh, remember that 2600 HP we were talking about? Yeah, he does not. Anyways, Raxes are going down through backdoor protection. It's mega creeps. It's all 3 waves. Je m'excuse. That's just an intermediary building there standing. And with 2 heroes on the sidelines, they're 1 and 2 position. The top shrine being threatened. FaZe. Watch their lead phase to black. I know it's fade to black, but I tried my best. It phased out of existence, their lead. But I already used that in the draft screen, so I want it to be variable in my puns. And, well, it didn't work out, alright. Lotus Orb up on Snake King. He's got the gem for his squad as well and a blink, so he can not only preemptively Heavenly Grace, but follow up Ryoya and Envy. And an infest into the Ancient Black Drake. Nice play by Envy here. You don't want to be using your skills on it, but, you know, he'll do some scouting for his squad. Dodges the LSA. Mason starting to right-click into it. Mason need to be careful not to get hexed up there. And will turn back for his side of the map. And now with the gem, we will see this Radiant lineup start to choke FaZe into their side of the base. Already, naturally, all 3 waves pushing in for the side of Flying Penguins. And this is the first game of the day, guys. We've seen go past the 40-minute mark. Roche has cheese available. No refresher start. It's the level 2 Roche on this one. Monkey's hanging around. Flea will find him with the Lucent Beam, and the Hex is there, and Monkey's taking out 100 seconds on the sideline for Monkeys, and this is going to be Aegis and Cheese for Flying Penguins. Ryoya picks up an Arcane Rune as well, and again, Bounty Runes always at a high priority for this Flying Penguin squad. Aegis on the deck. Envy picks it up. He's got to use his Midas, of course, as well, and will do so. Lella's thinking about TPing in on top of Mason, but the Lifestealer nowhere nearby. E-Blade being built into by Ryoya, but no reason to really forego. Well, okay, let's forego buyback. F it. He's got a cheese. They'll take out the last shrine. They've got megas. There's no way they're being pushed in on, even if they die here. And so E-Blade, especially up against the right-click Lina, could be real nice. Jump forward. Hex is going to find one. It is going to be the Earth Spirit. And they'll bring him very low. Soulblind with the double Laguna Blade brings them low, but they've got Cheese and Aegis. Envy is going to end up dropping here. He'll be back momentarily, though. Nice Lotus Orb from Snake King, keeping Ryoya alive. The Earth Spirit getting low. They do end up taking out the Nature's Prophet, but what does it really matter as the Eclipse takes Mason out? Mason is going to buy back, however. Envy into the base, and the Eclipse again doing work. GA is going to be popped. Sonic Wave through FaZe. And CC&C, despite forcing the low ground, taken out. Triple kill for Ryoya. Envy's dominating. And Flying Penguins, they'll use the E-Blade on that last hero. It being Jubei's Grimstroke. CC&C buys back, but simply to watch his Ancient die. Oh, precasted Hex coming out there on the Bat Rider. And Monkey's not even killed off, but his hopes are ended. As are the hopes of FaZe in this one. Flying Penguins will move on as the GGs come out. And what a great showing.
The all-knowing one protects us all.
From Flying Penguins in this one. 34-27. It looks like a relatively even game, and certainly the graphs will tell a similar story. I mean, you can keep the game within 10,000 net worth advantage for most of the game. Really, till 41 minutes, the game was within 10,000 net worth. Of course, one side had a one-position bounty hunter, but it's not till the literal last few minutes of the game that any team takes a lead over 10K net worth. So, and experience for that matter. So a very even game overall. But unfortunately, we do kind of see you know, the bounty hunter end up tailing off towards the end and continuing to skyrocket the NB Lightstealer. Ryoya, again, not a great lane versus CCNC. CCNC really held his own in this entire series, but unfortunately his team wasn't able to pick him up. Monkeys had a fantastic start. His first two uses of even the first use of the Blink Dagger was scouted mid lane by a ward. Ryoya was able to survive, and despite not having a good lane, 8, 5, and 21, Ryoya ends up involved in 29 of the 34 kills. Envy also involved in 29 kills. And you really see this 5-man put it together. And Lelis serving as bait for most of the game. So well played to Liposa as well. Flying Penguins will move on, guys. They're going to face the loser of the Complexity team match. That was going on simultaneously up in the upper bracket. That is on twitch.tv/BeyondTheSummit. So check that out on BTS 1. And this will resume tomorrow, I believe, these qualifiers. But until then, I hope you guys have enjoyed the broadcast. And for now, this is MRP signing out. Night, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you can always pick like a ranged carry who doesn't really mind too much about Darkseer, or maybe like his Lifestealer banned out. Well, Lifestealer's still in the pool. Or the Druid. Yeah, there you go. Another hero. Yeah, Lifestealer was actually banned out, but still.